leather gloves were slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts were working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick, was chasing the beer that circled the lips. Play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.
The catch was famous.
Hey,
good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives.
Live
Here on Strong Island Television Paradise Studios, a beautiful downtown, uptown, Massapequa, New York, right across from what? The Long Island Railroad.
Look at that. You couldn't get any closer, I don't think.
Who's our sponsor?
Our sponsor today
Who
is Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community. There they are.
Thank you, Michael Barasch.
Yes.
So we're back in the studio. A few quick things. I gotta mention quickly Willie Mays right up front.
Yep.
He wasn't my generation. He was my father's generation. All right. I knew Willie because I was like 13 when he was with the Mets.
Willie Mays baseball.
You don't have memories of Willie Mays.
When was he on the Mets?
He was on the Mets in 72, 73.
That was my era.
When were you born?
My idol.
60s.
Yeah, 64.
So how do you remember him?
I grew up. I remember my all-time favorite Met back then was Dave Kingman.
Oh,
Dave?
What was his nickname?
Sky King.
What was his name?
Sky King.
Kong.
Oh, Kong.
But yeah, Willie Mays, my father's generation.
Yeah.
It's one of those people. I'm not going to say athletes. It's one of those people that really make an impression in your childhood. Because I was into baseball. And when you're young, oh, yeah, Babe Ruth, Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle. Those names, even though it wasn't my generation, were thrown around a lot.
Right.
So it's almost like Mookie Wilson and Keith and Andrews. When they go, that's going to hit me hard.
Yeah.
But Willie Mays, hey, how you doing, Patrick? So condolences to his family. One of the greatest baseball players ever. People can say you're the best, the second best. You could argue all day. One of the greatest baseball players and human beings ever. Father's Day. What are you on the screen already? What is he laughing at?
I'm laughing because I had to come on the screen because you're saying nice stuff about people. I forgot to tell you because it was so crazy beforehand. Today is Pastor Ann and her wife Jennifer's 20th anniversary.
Look at that. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Ann, one of our favorite guests.
Oh, she's the best.
She's the best. Father's Day.
Yeah.
Give me a few.
We went to the most amazing place.
Where'd you go?
We went to Croton Gorge Park. It's the dam, 45 minutes out of New York. It'll blow you away. It's like you're over, like the Hoover Dam, like you're looking down. At one time in the early 1900s, it was the largest man-made structure in the world.
You are better than I am, brother. I wouldn't want to deal with it. I was in my pool in the backyard all day, just hanging out.
We like going with this congestion on holidays.
You can come to my house one day.
Yeah.
You got to come over. You got to come over.
I have a pool too, you know.
You know what? I wanted to ask you something tonight about pool. I was thinking about you today.
Yeah.
When was the last time you skinny dipped? Why did that cross my mind?
I never skinny
dipped. Come on.
No.
Richie. All right. Let me ask you a question.
Modest.
Me, you, Butch, Santo, Leslie gonna hanging out.
Yeah.
All right. And whenever we go have a few drinks, even though we don't drink that much.
Right.
Who wants to go skinny dipping? Who's the first one to take their clothes off and hop in Johnny L's pool?
Guys, I would not be skinny dipping. There's no.
All right, so you wouldn't do it. Who would be? No. But if you say my money, $100 is on.
Who would be the first?
Who would be the first to think skinny dipping in the pool?
I'd have to think that probably Santo would be.
You think Santo would be the first with that body? All right.
He would. I don't think he has any inhibitions.
You don't think?
What about you?
I don't think I would be skinny dipping with you guys there. You know, I'm not ashamed of the body. Just parts of the body, you know what I'm saying?
Right, as long as you stay in the water from the waist up.
Yeah, with a tube, with a thick tube, a thin tube, just a little tube.
Yes.
So we went from Willie Mays, sorry for your loss.
Yeah. And what did
This
you do?
mini
At one
dip.
point? You just were in the pool. That was it.
Pool,
Barbecue.
barbecue, play a little cornhole. I got a little cornhole game.
Right.
Grandkids, very nice.
They enjoyed
Met
it.
game.
Nice. Oh, you went to
Met
the
game.
Met
No.
game.
Watch the Met game.
Oh, you watched it.
Meet the Mets, greet the Mets, baby. Here we come. Listen, I don't think they're going to win the World Series this year. I'm realistic, but they're making it fun. Give us something to cheer about at least in August. Don't be out of it.
Who's the big guy in the Mets this year? I don't even know.
Well, Alonso, you could say, is the big guy. I love Nimmo because the guy's always running.
Right.
The guy's always running. Walk, he runs to the base. Outfield, he runs to the outfield. You see him running into the dugout. He runs through the stands.
He runs.
He runs. Good man. Let me bring up, we're going from sad. I have to mention, because I was on FDNY before 9/11, one of the largest tragedies was the Father's Day fire. We lost 3 guys. One of them I used to work with before he went to rescue where he was lost, Brian Fahey. Nice guy, funny guy, dry sense of humor type guy, but a great firefighter. So I just wanted to mention to the families.
Yeah.
That it's a tough day. Father's Day's got to be a horrible day for them. It's sad. I got the knees done today.
Yeah,
I'm wearing my shorts here.
Yeah,
back here,
Band-Aids on.
I went. Now listen.
Yeah.
I was a firefighter.
Yeah.
When people talk to me about, I'm supposed to be like a little tough, right?
Right.
You can't be crying about stuff.
Right.
Sad things I'm allowed to cry.
People want to believe that you're going to save them.
Yeah, so I go in there today and we talked about the gel injections the last time I went.
Right. Now, what is the gel? What is it?
They shoot it in there and it kind of
Is it cortisone?
No, it's not cortisone. It kind of lubricates a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe Brian knows, our nurse lady. He can give us a little better medical details.
Yeah.
But it lubricates a little better. It helps out in there.
Interesting.
So he says to me today, well, how are you doing? So I explained it all, and I figured, well, we're probably going to have to make a plan and schedule because he does it with sonogram. He actually sticks the needle in with a sonogram. So he's
going on.
No, because he sees, because my wife had a terrible experience. My wife had a physician's assistant or something doing. She freaking hit the ceiling. I've never heard her scream that loud, even living with me.
From the needle? Yeah.
So that's what I was a little worried about.
Yeah.
So he said to me today, well, what do you think? Both knees or whatever. I said, you know what? I think we should schedule the injections. He goes, oh, we could do it today. Let's do it right now. You want to do it now? No.
Yeah.
I'm not mentally prepared. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You have
so now I have a little bit
of. You need a weak buildup.
Yes, underlying panic. I see the tears are building, but I can't cry.
Right. You can't let him see the tears.
Yeah. So when they say, we can do that today, Doc. We can do that today. Sure.
And he's going like this. He's squirting.
And he's actually shaking. So so he did the needle, and here's what he didn't tell me.
Yeah.
You stick the needle in. He takes out some of the bad liquid that's in there.
Oh, why?
That's causing part of the problem. He leaves the same needle in, pulls the end off, then puts the medication on, the lube, and sticks it right back. The needle only goes in once.
Right.
But it hangs out for a while. He didn't tell me that.
Are they bruised? Your knees
No, I actually, Richie, I'm not supposed to really work out for 2 days because you know me. I'm always in the gym.
Yeah.
That's why I look like this. Always in the gym. I think they feel better already.
You know what I noticed? You have very thin legs.
I don't have thin legs.
I have very
like muscular.
Legs.
No, I don't have skinny legs. Like I've seen your legs. I've seen your legs. I see somebody move the chair. They go, well, that's Richie's legs. Oh, I thought it was the chair legs. So that was that. So
interesting.
I want to do a recording with you.
Yeah, let's do it.
No, I was listening to this song by Kenny Rogers, and I think it'd be funny. If I sing the beginning, the single lines, then we get a few people. You know this song by Kenny Rogers? The Find Time to Leave Me, Lucy.
Yes, I do know.
No, you can't sing songs. You cannot sing songs. No, you can't.
Bobby, can I sing a song? I'm not playing the music. Does it sound like the original to you?
You can sing
time to
leave me.
Do I sound like Kenny Rogers?
You don't sound anything like it. Trust me, it's not going to match.
There you go, Butch. There you go. Butch would come on for any reason to scold me.
No, I'm just making sure I'm covering us.
Crops in the field. I've had some bad time. So that'd be fun.
We need to do that because that's my kind of song.
That'd be fun.
And then we follow up with, Hey, Ruby, don't take your love to town.
Oh, shit, sounds just like it. She's gonna
It was.
sounds just.
We
just
may
like
get sued from the Kenny Rogers Foundation.
Yeah,
That's how good that is.
No, I'm worried about BMI and ASCAP. I'm not worried about Kenny Rogers.
They're gonna sue us, too.
Oh boy,
That's how good it is.
All right, what else did I want to discuss? Lucille, I went to the eye doctor too.
Yeah.
You know, I'm finding a lot of between my father, my wife, and myself. I'm in the doctor's office a lot.
Yeah, me too.
You know, right?
A series of doctors. I have so many. They all know me by name.
Christina Marie.
Yes, Christina Marie,
Christina
your daughter.
Marie. She calls me this morning.
What
Now,
she say?
if Les Deegan and Mark are watching,
Yeah.
I canceled my 8:30 meeting this morning at Panera. Was not feeling great, but it's the air quality, my allergies. I really couldn't get moving.
Yeah.
So I apologize, guys. You see me sitting here and you're like, you can hear it in my voice a little, I think. But Christina calls me like 9:30.
Yeah.
Oh, I scheduled a dentist appointment. I'm in Wanto. I got the dog. I forgot I was bringing the dog. Come pick him up. And I'm in bed like, I don't feel good. So I get there, and this dog, he's a good boy. But he's all over the place, and he's jumping or whatever.
Were you getting them groomed?
No, she was going to the eye doctor. And the eye doctor? Dentist. And she forgot that she was bringing the dog, and I had to pick him up. The guy was all over the place.
Yeah.
All over the place. I wish that was funny. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we break? Before Butch comes on.
Where is Butch? Is he going to tell us?
I'm right here. Why are you gonna break? You got 4 minutes left. Talk. This is the best part of the show.
How's your pickleball doing?
Oh,
great. There you go.
Flyers, Bobby. Let's do flyers.
Here we go.
Let's do flyers first, Richard.
Oh, flyers.
Show's coming up this Sunday. We're back at the Northport Veterans Hospital in the nursing home section, building 92. With the Knights of Columbus bringing us in with them. I'm very excited. We have Peter Bales, John Butera, Roseanne, and Claudia, and myself. Listen, we put this on like there's 500 people in the audience.
Yeah.
There's maybe 10 veterans there, 12 veterans, maybe a family member or two.
That's a
They
big
deserve
show.
it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be back. So free show for them. Hey, listen, guys out there, you can't do the comedy show. If you want to be a sponsor on this show, if you want to help us out, go to the website and help us out. That's all I can say on that.
Great. Yeah.
Our next show after that is Domenico's. You did it the last time, remember?
I love that show.
Look at this lineup. Tom DiDario, Pat Marone. We got Karen Margaret and Frank Fiala.
Look at you.
Dinner, the chicken palm, phenomenal. Come out, see a comedy show, have a good meal.
Dominico's, great restaurant.
Yes, and Tom DiDario, one of my favorite headliners other than Rich Walker, because Rich is sitting right here.
Right.
What other flyers do we have?
That's it.
That's it?
That's it. Where's the Heroes Tour?
The Heroes Tour. Oh, that show is canceled tomorrow night.
Oh, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night is canceled.
Because you didn't have any heroes on it. You were the only one.
Let's go. You know what we're going to do, Richie? We have the players. Let's do pickleball.
And there you go.
Hey! We had the playoffs Monday night.
Yes.
A, B, C, D, E bracket. We made the B bracket.
Look at that.
And we lost our first game to Lucky 44. We beat them last week. They beat us this week.
Yeah.
We had to win 2 out of 3 to go to the final match. We lost 2 out of 3. We did not go. We did, though, have the opportunity then to play some fun games after the tournament was over with our friends from Guilted Into It, Bridget Kavanaugh. She would let her mother play. She sent her home. Roseanne is learning the game.
Right.
And she missed 2 weeks. And she's the only one that can miss 2 weeks and not practice. And it doesn't make a difference, Roseanne. You know?
Right.
But we had some fun with Bridget, and it was a fun night.
Okay, I know I'm coming on a lot, but this is a historic night. Watch this. Look who's watching the show and is saying hello. I think this is the first time in 32 years. Look at that.
Amy?
Yes.
Amy's always watching.
So first time she said hello.
Oh, hello,
Hello,
Amy. Amy is the backbone all the little things for the Laugh to Save Lives Foundation. We couldn't run it without her, without Butch. We could do without Richie, but those two could not do without.
I love being an afterthought.
You're the best.
Yeah.
You're the best. All right, so let's go to break now.
Yeah, we're
back
going
with our first guest, Amy.
Amy
Amaro from the Washington, D.C. Fire and EMS Foundation. One of our favorites.
Good.
If you spent time downtown on 9/11 or in the 8 months after, you were exposed to toxic air and may be eligible for compensation from the $10 billion 9/11 Victim Fund. But most people who qualify still haven't claimed what they're entitled to.
I worked downtown. I didn't die. I was an office worker. I felt like there were others who deserved the money more than I did.
A major reason people haven't claimed the money they're due is guilt. They feel guilty claiming funds when others died or were first responders.
I heard there were 9/11 funds, but because I wasn't a first responder, I did not apply.
You do not have to be a first responder to qualify. This fund was created for everyone who worked, lived, or attended school south of Canal Street, who may have experienced or have experienced respiratory illness or any of the 68 cancers linked to the toxins. Even if you have a family history of cancer, there is a presumption linking most cancers to the toxins.
I thought it was too late to make a claim. My spouse worked downtown at a bank and died of cancer. Honestly, I just haven't felt up to it.
The government's $10 billion Victim Fund and Health Program have been permanently extended. You just need to have been below Canal Street on 9/11 or at any time in the following 8 months. To see if you qualify, call or go to 911fund.com to speak to a representative of Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community.
There are many reasons people who are eligible for compensation are not stepping up to claim it. To those who are holding back, I would say just take the first step. Ask for help. Make the call. It's not too late.
I called and I qualified.
I qualify.
I qualify.
Millions of dollars remain unclaimed. You do not have to be seriously ill to qualify.
And we're back with Laugh to Save Lives.
Richie and I were just talking. We think the guest tonight is Butch, and we think he already did his time.
Yes.
He did already 10 minutes. So if the second guest is Butch, we're screwed because...
Tell Butch a surprise.
Butch is going to surprise us with the second guest.
No, tell him
what
this special that we're going to have for him.
Oh, we're gonna do a future... We're going to have Butch come on for his own... segment,
right?
You know, we're gonna get a really obnoxious animal to come on. It's a monster section.
We'll call it like Butch's basement.
Butch's basement.
Or Butch.
Yeah, we'll come up with. All right, our first guest for the night. She's from the Washington D.C. EMS and Fire Foundation. Please welcome Amy Morrow. Your title is president.
Hey.
What's your title? What's your title?
I'm executive director of the DC Fire and EMS Foundation.
Stop it. Look at you, fancy
that
pants.
Sounds very important. John, you got to get one. I want one of those titles.
She just made that up tonight, I think.
Really?
She just made that up. Because everybody just called it, hey, Amy.
Hey, happy Father's Day late.
Thank you.
That was a lot in the introduction. I was having trouble keeping up. There was skinny dipping, Willie Mays.
Yeah. We cover everything.
Yeah.
Yes. Listen, we didn't talk about Willie Mays skinny dipping, though. We were respectful because
no, it's just sort of the broad range. It's just an indication of all over the place.
That's what we do. You know that's what we do. And I want to thank you because you invited me down to D.C. to see our Metsies play your Nats. I wasn't allowed to wear any Mets stuff. I wasn't allowed to cheer for the Mets. But that started the Mets winning streak now. And when I left the stadium, like I told you, once we separated, then I was high-fiving all the Met fans, But I showed the respect, did I not?
You did, and I was very impressed. And you know what? I think that's karma. I think because you behaved yourself and you were a polite guest, now they're on this streak. So I believe in that.
Now, as you know, I left the house at 4:30, got to the hotel 9:30 in the morning, took a little nappy, but I was pretty tired. I apologize for not going out after the game with you guys because you went to a alcohol-infused ice cream place.
Wow.
We did.
How was that?
It was actually pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, we
It's
enjoyed
in
it.
the ice cream alcohol, or they mix
Yeah, it's
drinks?
called boozy ice cream. And we actually got a flight. So you could get a flight with a bunch of different ice cream flavors.
And you eat it like ice cream.
Yeah.
Did you get tipsy from it? Like, can you get?
I did feel a little. I was surprised.
Did you go?
Yeah.
Did you go? Let's
Generous,
go Mets.
generous pours.
Were you that tipsy? Did you go? Let's go Mets.
No, never.
All right. So tell our people what you do with the fire and EMS. EMS. Am I saying it backwards? EMS and fire.
DC Fire EMS Foundation.
What do you do over there? What do they do, and what do you do for them?
So I've been at it for about a year now. We launched in May 2023, so we just celebrated our first anniversary. And our mission is to support the DC Fire and EMS Foundation. And I started out just fundraising. I started with $1,700 in the bank. We raised $250,000 our first year. So I found that there's a ton of support for our firefighters in DC, and I've been able to support things that are not in their budget. I created an emergency fund for firefighters with cancer, behavioral health, and cardiac challenges.
Excellent.
So I've been able to help some of them.
Excellent. And just to say, with that, was that $250,000?
Yes.
And from the comedy show alone, we raised $35.
That's amazing.
Am I right?
John's fun.
We raised more than that.
All right.
We did, and we're going to have another one.
So you just had a big night recently.
I had a very busy month in May. It was leading up to June 7th. We had a big award ceremony for the department. There were 400 people, and we had a lot of corporate support. And one of the things that's nice about the foundation is the DC government, you can't spend money on food and alcohol. So the foundation now can throw a nice party for the members every year, the ones who get the bronze and silver medals. And we brought patients back whose lives they saved, like cardiac arrest survivors.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Very nice. And your affiliation with the fire and EMS, were you an EMT? Were you a firefighter?
No, I was chief of staff for 8 years.
Chief of staff for?
The fire chief for the department. So I was the civilian equivalent to assistant fire chief.
And I'm sure you grew up, which is interesting. You grew up right in DC. Like, we don't picture people. I'm not talking about surrounding areas. You grew up right there. Like, how far
right
are
on
you?
Capitol Hill, yeah.
How far are you from the White House, say?
I'm about a mile from the Capitol, and I guess the White House is another mile.
Wow.
From there.
Yeah.
How exciting.
Isn't that interesting?
It is, yeah.
I don't know. She didn't invite me to a house, but I think it's probably a nice house.
Yeah.
What did you think that she met me on the street before the show?
We'll meet you at Starbucks.
Yeah, she
I
met me
just
at
traveled 400 miles to get here.
And she says,
it was pouring rain for the Mets game, and I woke up at 7:00. I saw the forecast, and I texted him, and he was like, "Oh, I'm on the road already."
You could go home.
Listen, I left at 4:30 in the morning to beat the traffic on the belt and Stanley. You can respect that.
Yeah.
Right?
I think John has like a clinical fear of traffic. It's very serious.
I do.
I hate traffic.
All right. So moving forward, excuse me, this is my allergies. And moving forward, what do you have coming up?
Yeah.
And I've been pressing you for a new date for the next show because we want to bring
I never did it.
Richard and Roseanne.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah. We're looking at September.
Why
I
do you
have a
look so
friend working on a
disappointed saying
spot.
that?
But wait, there's something else I want to tell you about that happened already.
Go ahead.
Remember, we talked about it.
Go ahead.
So in DC, we don't have a memorial for firefighters who have died in the line of duty.
Oh.
And so I worked with the department to create this thing called the Memorial Helmet Project.
Yes.
So we have these memorial helmets. They're actual firefighter helmets that were used in the line of duty that have been retired. They're painted gray, and they're installed in every location in the city where a firefighter died in the line of duty. And then they're put up on street lamps, and then there's a plaque that explains what happens, and it has a QR code to the foundation's website so you can read more about them.
That is really nice.
Interesting. Yeah.
Great job. Great job. In fact, what I want to do, did you go to the 9/11 Museum and Memorial yet?
Yes, I've been. It's beautiful.
You haven't, right?
No,
Okay.
I'd love to go.
I'm talking to Sid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule a day during the week where I bring some of the comics that have done a lot of lifting, because I think it's important for them, because we're born out of 9/11, so to speak. And I think it's important for them to see the museum. I always say it wrong.
Yeah.
But if you want to go to a Mets game versus Nats, I will reciprocate.
Yes.
I will do the same thing you did.
That's a big word. Write that down.
I will do the same thing you did.
Yeah.
And take you to a Met game.
That would be fun.
Just you. I'm not paying for more than one.
Yeah,
no,
we
I'm
can't
kidding.
afford
I'm kidding.
that.
Bring a guest. Bring what? Your husband. You want to bring somebody else? That's fine. I mean, my cousin came with me. Right? He's a nice guy, my cousin, right?
Yeah, I like meeting him.
Yeah. He had just gotten out of jail. So he was very
exciting,
very happy to be invited to the game. Yeah, he's a thief. No, he's not. You know my cousin. You know,
of course.
So, all right. So pick a game.
Okay.
If it's not this year, fine. Next year, but if pick a game this year, you come up
just before they raise prices.
Yeah, and bring binoculars because the seats I'm going to get are really cheap.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a mitt, but no balls come in that area.
No bring something like that because it gets windy up there. Bring something. Anything else you want to add and tell us what you're working on? Or you good?
I'm good.
Actually, I actually have a couple of questions for Amy. Amy and I talked about this before the show. I do traffic, believe it or not, from my house in New Jersey on a radio station in D.C. every Saturday night on the overnight. And there is so much going on in the, and watch, I'm going to say this right, DMV. They call Delaware, DC, Maryland, and Virginia the DMV, where we call it the Department of Motor Vehicles. So you guys call it the DMV. When there is a fire or a big situation going on, do you guys have, is it just kind of like New York City where you have different houses, or is it all under one umbrella? How does DC work?
Same as New York. We've got firehouses with truck companies and engine companies.
Oh, I think what Butch is asking is EMS in the ambulance in the firehouse.
Oh yeah, it's fire-based EMS, so it's the same department.
Same thing. So they're actually under the umbrella of DC Fire.
Yeah, and we only hire firefighter EMTs and firefighter paramedics. We used to be like New York, and we had civilian EMS personnel, and that didn't work very well. So we wanted to. One of the things we did in 2007 was to unify the workforce so that all of our employees have the same pay and benefits. I don't want to get into any controversy, but New York might want to get into that.
That's a thing. We talk about that, so that's a thing.
That's a thing.
What Butch basically does is he sits in his house in Jersey with some Matchbox cars, and he makes up traffic at night.
Oh no, you don't have to make up traffic in the DMV. There's, actually, look here's my gear right here. Got my microphone, my headset.
He has his helicopter sound.
So what time should I listen for you, Butch?
I am on from 11 p.m. Saturday night until 6 o'clock Sunday morning.
What?
Wow!
I gotta write this
down.
Yeah,
write that down.
And you can listen. You can listen to it. Can I give him a plug? I can give him a plug, right?
Go ahead.
It's WTOP. And they're a great radio station. They're kind of comparable to our 1010 Winds here in New York.
Yeah.
Very similar, radio station. They do traffic and weather on the 8s. But they're a great station. Yep. They're a very good news information source for the entire DMV.
All right, Butch. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Butch. All right, Amy.
All right.
Thank you. Anything else?
Okay. Well, thanks for having me. It's nice to see you again, and I'll keep working on that show.
All right. I'll be in touch, but we always love seeing you. You're doing great work.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you. Thanks for having me.
for joining us.
Bye.
You got it. All right.
You know, the original guest, the other guest was going to be an actor and
Coming up, right?
Italian. And I was practicing the Italian pronunciations. La Porta dell'Inferno, the door to hell, in this movie.
Yeah.
So let me tell you what happened.
Yes,
so basically, Michael Cavalieri was going to come on. He was a producer, director on the one of the Karate Kid movies, not the original, the second Karate Kid movie. Very, very nice guy. We ran a test yesterday with what we use to connect with our guests. And yesterday was okay, but it was a little choppy, and we tried again today. He's literally in the mountains of Sicily.
You're sounding like my wife when I ask her a simple question.
Well, I want to explain what happened because he's a very nice guy, and we couldn't make it happen.
All right,
he's out.
We got to go to break now. Yes.
We will go to break in a second. Let me just explain what's going on. So this very special guest is coming on.
Oh,
he is not on yet. So what I was going to suggest on the fly, why don't we bring our comic out to sit at the table, and when our guest comes in, we'll pop him in, and he can participate in this interview.
Why don't we let our comic Brian have his own 10 minutes, and then we'll bring the guest in.
Yeah, we can do. That's fine. That's what I'm saying. Bring him on after commercial.
All right, let's go to break, and we'll be back with RN and comic Brian Paul.
When disaster strikes, call Bullifus Restorations, Long Island's leader in all property damage restoration. We provide fire, water, mold, and soot cleanups with hands-on expertise. Our 24/7 rapid response ensures the smoothest and fastest path back to normal. We'll coordinate the entire process from cleanup to repairs, even help filing your insurance claim. We're insurance claims specialists and are committed to getting you back to pre-loss condition. Bullifus Restorations, the disaster experts you can trust.
Hi, I'm Arthur Lee, founder, CEO, and inventor of LifeVac, a simple rescue device that could save a child's life in a choking emergency. All these people were saved with LifeVac. People may not realize that on average, 14 people a day die from choking-related incidents. Every 5 days, one of those is a child. As simple as place, push, pull.
To learn more, please visit lifevac.net.
Supposed to be on already.
And we're back with
Laughter Saves Live. On television.
And with a very funny comedian.
Massapequa, New York.
New York.
We got Brian Paul with us. Hero segment. Amy was a hero segment too. Hero segment. This man is an RN. And a lot more than an RN. He's a father, right? But I always say, especially recently when my wife has been in the hospital a few times.
Yeah.
From stress and nervous breakdown from living with me. HIPAA, I can't say that.
Yeah.
You do God's work, brother. Okay?
Love what I do.
Yes.
I do love what I do.
And you love what you do. You do wound care, which is tough enough as it is, because you're dealing with patients probably a lot of times in a lot of pain and very uncomfortable. So it's an honor to have you sitting here. And I mean
Honor
that.
to be here.
I mean that. The first time I met you, remember the first time you met me? What did you call me, an idiot? But still, no jerk. What was that?
I wouldn't say that.
First
Not
time we
to
met
your
was
face, at least.
not to my face. Was that a comedy contest? I think it was.
Actually, no. I met you years before that when you did a show at Setauket Fire Department.
Oh really?
Right.
Oh really?
Which is your department?
Well, it was.
Well, it was.
I used to be, before I was a nurse, I was a volunteer fireman, EMT, and all that.
So as a wound care nurse, what are your jobs? Obviously, but tell them what you
Tell us what you do.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I work with a lot of the elderly population, and their hearing isn't always great. So when I say wound, nobody gets it. So I always just tell people I'm there to look at their boo-boos.
There you go.
It's just a lot easier. They understand it. But my responsibility is to figure out how to heal whatever wounds the person comes into my facility with, and prevention of other ones from coming in. Unfortunately, bed sores and stuff like that happen at a lot of facilities, not mine. But that's the overall goal.
How do they get bed sores? Why not you? Could you change the sheets?
Oh, what happens is, and sometimes it's in the hospital, is, they'll be more concerned about the person's actual health issues, what's going on with them, and they're not getting moved around enough.
Oh, you have to
or
keep
there's
moving.
a specific reason why they're not moving them around.
Right.
And then what happens is, from them sitting in one specific spot, the blood flow to that area gets damaged, and eventually.
Gotcha.
But then they
Now,
can
what
become
about John's gel in his knees? Is that bad?
No.
Do you know anything about what they put
my
in?
understanding of it, I'm not an ortho guy, is that it's both lubricant and cushing.
Yes.
So
that's what he said.
Sounds like something they would sell,
What's
next to condoms or something.
Yeah. The cushion
Yeah, it
between the
gives you like
bones.
some elasticity.
Yeah.
Or something to that.
All right, guys, let me do this before he gets into the funny. Our special guest is here. Let me bring him on, and then he can do the funny like we had planned. Okay, it's very. He's a very important guest.
All right.
Trust me.
Yes.
This is Butch's last.
So I'm going to bring him on, John. He's a guy from the old neighborhood.
Let's see.
What's up, guys?
He took it away from me. Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest, one of our favorites ever on Laugh to Save Lives, Obama Oh man, what a surprise! You gotta get Butch a bonus now.
Now we can't fire Butch.
I was just going to say, you were
We
talking
were
about
so
fire.
close.
I know. Brian, this is Brian Paul. He's an RN, one of our heroes, and he's also a comic.
Hey, brother, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm always thrilled to be here with my friends, and I understand you got a funny, and we love funny, right, guys?
Yeah.
Amen.
You know him? You guys know each other from the neighborhood?
Yeah.
It was like Massapequa, or
No,
Oh.
no. Oba's on SWAT right now. He's the father on SWAT
Oh, no
of the
kidding.
main
Yeah.
character. But he's been on about 800 TV shows.
1,000,000.
It's on MDB. It's like page at the page. But more than that, he is such a gentleman. He's been on our show a few times. Who comes on this show more than once, right? I'm never going back there. This guy has been on 4 or 5 times. A gentleman, a sweetheart, just a wonderful human being.
And a glutton for punishment.
And a glutton for punishment.
Listen, I love to come. I love to come and spend and hang out with you guys whenever I get a chance. You know what I mean? And we thought we would surprise you, John. We said, how can we surprise? Because, you're tough to surprise, man. You're not easy to surprise.
Yeah,
and so,
I'm not too smart.
And
I'm
right before you came on, he wasn't that happy.
I'm like freaking Butch. Would he tell me who it is already?
Who is it?
yeah, we had to figure out how do we surprise John, man, and it was like, well, okay, I can't be backstage because you'll see the thing. So I'm off to the side, and he goes, okay, guys, before the funny, and he told me, he says, be off to the side and slide in. You know what I mean? So I had to do my special move, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. How is everything with you? Anything major going on?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah, what's going on?
Oh man, I you know what? I'm really busy doing stuff, and it's always fun though. The best time is to be with you guys. But SWAT, is amazing because we're back on, guys, for 22, and they don't do that anymore. Like we got renewed for 22. And the deal is, what's hysterical is I don't think it's ever happened in TV history before. But we were canceled, renewed by the same network, then canceled again and renewed by the same network within days. So, I've been doing that. I'm getting ready to, the rodeo is back in town, and I'm going to be doing the rodeo both in LA and then the finals in Texas. So, and then there's some things, and I'll tell you a little bit about, because I know you got a lot of stuff to get done, but I just did 2 very nice independent features. And one of the reasons that it's so good to do this kind of work is I got a chance to work, I got to tell you, I can't talk too much about it because it's not going to be released yet, but I will tell you this. It's 2 people, and I'll just say their names, and they're both women are in their 90s.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, guys, they came to work and they nailed it to the wall, man. We had long days. And I'm telling you, they came in, unlike a lot of these cats that come in, guys and girls that come into these shows now, they're not prepared. They want to know where craft service is. They're more interested in where craft service is. A lot of times they'll knock on my trailer door and they go, "Hey man, can I come in over?" I say, "Yeah, come on in." And they say, "Yeah, man, I've been here since like 9 o'clock this morning, man. It's 12 o'clock, man. They haven't used me yet." And I asked them, I said, "What were you doing before you got here? What were you doing before you got here?" I said, "They pay you to wait." I said, "Are you prepared though when they call you?
Yeah.
Are you going to know your lines? Are you going to be able to tune into your character?" And I said, "Tell me a little bit about your backstory." "Oh man, I don't know about none of that. I just here for the payday." I said, "See, that's the problem."
And you know what, you bringing that up and something like that. That's why, like I said, my wife was in the hospital recently, and every nurse that was doing their job, and it was most of them, I grabbed them and I said, "Listen, you're making a difference."
That's right.
And a guy like this is the type of guy that they should talk to. This guy's there working his ass off all day, treating. Who wants to treat people's wounds? That's a tough job.
Right.
That's what this guy does. And then he goes out and does comedy some nights and makes people laugh.
I want to know if the catering services do early bird special when they're 90-year-olds.
Well, listen, let me take the dovetail on what John just said and tell you that we salute you, my friend. We salute you. And they say, I always say this. These guys know me about this, but I always say, your do is not necessarily your who. Your do is what affects change in your life, but your who is how you affect change in someone else's.
That's right.
And they say that if you have been able to affect change in just someone's life in your walk, your living has not been in vain. So today, my friend, from all of us and for everybody that's watching and everybody who you've touched their lives, know right now in this moment and in the quiet moments of your life that your living has not been in vain, and we salute you.
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
Great job.
Beautiful.
Right?
Can I get a tape of this to send to my wife?
You have there it is. It's on.
Oh, that's great.
That's amazing.
So,
amazing.
SWAT now, another season. Do you know how many episodes you're going to be on?
You know what? They never tell us how many I'm going to do. But you know what, John? When your friend shows up, I'll tell you this. This is what's exciting. We're going into our 8th season. Okay. I've been on for 7. Okay. And every single time Pops shows up, the show goes to number 1.
Oh, yeah?
Every single time for 7 seasons. 100%. And I think it has to do with the fact that, all of the characters, this year makes a half a century that I've been doing this professionally. Okay. And I didn't start as a baby. But the deal is this.
You look great.
That every time that I go to work, I get an opportunity to affect change in somebody's life who's watching. And so whether I'm on screen for 3 hours, 2 hours, or 30 seconds, I'm giving it all I can, because the characters that I represent, and I've played doctors, lawyers, I've played heads of SWAT team, you name it, right? But I tell people all the time, I only play fully realized human beings because I want somebody that's watching to see themselves in that character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I try to bring that love to it, But like I said that these 2 ladies in their 90s They have brought a lot of change to people's lives, man.
Amazing.
And they showed up, they knew their lines, and they nailed it to the wall. And in this one of these movies, I play a judge. And so I go toe to toe with one of these legendary ladies that I'm talking about, you know, and I'm telling you, we really went at it. It was something. She was strong, man. I had to bring it. I had to bring the heat.
I'm sure you did. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yes.
I was just talking to my friend Mary again the other day. We still got to get out to LA, and one of the biggest reasons is I want to see you in that audience. I want to see you, give you a big hug, and we do a night together, raise some money for a great charity, veterans charity, whatever. But I can't thank you enough for coming on tonight.
Well, listen, man.
John and Oba, let's not forget the movie that we are going to get made. John, tell everybody who Oba's playing.
Oba's playing my son.
Oba's playing the therapist that you saw.
Oh, that's right.
Ooh.
What a great character.
Yeah,
That's
Oba's
right.
playing the therapist that you saw after 9/11.
What a great character.
Let me tell you, Oba, you better get your game on with him. His acting is incredible.
Yeah, it's as good as
I'll do the best I can. I'll do the best I can.
Brother,
Thank you guys for welcoming me always.
When those movies drop, you got to come back on so we can.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, one of the ladies is 93. Her name is Marla Gibbs, and the other lady is 90, and her name is Shirley MacLaine.
Wait, are we talking Marla from the Jeffersons?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
93 years old, young, man. And she came and she brought it. And then 90 years old, Shirley MacLaine came and she brought it, man.
Wow.
So
blown. My head's blowing up.
So if you guys will allow me, as soon as these movies drop, I'm going to come back on the show. And if you guys will allow me and then tell you all about everything, okay?
Let us know when the premieres are or whatever.
Okay. Okay.
know.
Definitely. Definitely.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for saving my butt, Oba.
Pleasure, Butch. I appreciate you, brother.
Oh, love you. Love you.
John just wants an invite to the premieres.
I do. No, I would love to. Yeah, that would be
Is he-
awesome.
He's like one of the best guests ever on the show.
He
just
a
makes
great
everybody
job,
happy.
Butch. A great job, Butch. He is. You see it. You feel it. Do you feel him?
Yeah, without
You
a
know,
doubt.
and like I said, look on IMDb.
Good
look at
energy.
all he's done.
Forget about
over
it.
the
It's like
years.
this.
All
Well,
he's done.
he makes me think of
Let me just tell you.
Which
the
is
DiBernardo Foundation. Lieutenant.
Let me just tell you how it went.
Hey, Butch, I'm talking.
So we had the issue.
Wait, Butch. Let's give Brian some time. Let's give Brian some time. We can do that next week. We can talk about it.
These guys,
Right.
give me 1 second. Let me just show you what kind of guy this is. So we had the
Right.
issue. I called up Tracy. Tracy said, let me call him right now. And she called me back 30 seconds later and said, not only is he in, but we'll do something fun. And he said, anytime you need me, you tell those guys I'm there.
What a
Oh,
guy.
awesome.
He's
What a guy.
outstanding.
What a guy.
Thank you, Butch.
Thank you, Butch.
Yes, so go ahead, Brian.
No, I was just saying I work with a charity called the Lieutenant Joseph P. DiBernardo Memorial
Sorry, we're out of
Foundation.
time.
So-
Yeah.
and one of our big supporters is a guy named Robert Burke, or Robert John Burke, Bobby Burke, as we all know
Yeah.
him, who was a regular character on SVU for a long time.
Okay.
And he's like Obi, he's done 1,000 different films and movies and TV shows over the years. And he's still a volunteer firefighter here on Long Island.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Out on Ocean Beach.
Isn't it nice to see that some of these guys
Yeah.
they don't forget where they came from?
He's an amazing
They're regular guys.
Amazing guy.
Oh, that's great. So, more about you. How was your Father's Day?
Father's Day was good. You know, it was weird. My wife took me out to me and my wife, the kids. We went out to Mattatuck for the the strawberry festival that they had.
Oh, how was that?
It was pretty cool.
You
Like
come
lots,
home all red. Your
you know,
fingers are red.
lots of strawberries, which was great. All these different food vendors, and you know, like lunchtime came, and I asked my wife like what she was in the mood for. You know, got all these different options there. She's like, I was thinking about maybe Chinese food.
Right.
Like, there's no Chinese food here. She's
Right.
like, well, they got to have a good Chinese food place around here. I'm like, honey, they don't even have Chinese people out here. Just- but that was the way my day went. But we had a good time.
That reminds me of your Chinese delivery joke.
Yes.
Which is which you know, and you're doing comedy. Look at jokes like that joke, and it's beautiful because you don't expect it.
Right.
I didn't even see it coming.
You have to come see
Richie.
Me in a show.
Yeah.
John ever puts me on one.
You gotta come see me.
I gotta put
see
him on the
Brian.
show.
See him.
Him on the show. So what else? What else you talk about up there on the big stage?
Oh, lots of different stuff. You know, I was thinking about what you guys were talking about before with the Kenny Rogers thing, and it made me remember a funny story. My wife and I were at the beach one day, and this guy walks by, and she's like, "Look, that looks like Kenny Rogers."
Right.
And I'm like, "Well, it doesn't look like Kenny Rogers now. I mean, Kenny Rogers. Have you seen him lately?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh yeah, he had all that place." I'm like, "He's dead, honey.
He's dead.
He's dead.
He's rotting.
She had no clue. She couldn't even
different
remember.
appearance when you're rotting.
You lead the wife into it.
Set her up.
Yeah.
Set her up. Oh boy. No, it's a lot of fun. You know, I wanted to say thanks to Amy for everything she's doing with that charity that with
Isn't she
Washington,
great?
DC.
She's a sweetheart.
I actually was down in DC last summer, went down there with the family, and the hotel we stayed in was right next door to the Washington, DC Firefighters Museum, which is run by former firefighters and whatnot. And I really wanted to check it out. And every time I went there, they were closed.
Wow.
which was frustrating. But
if you went with John, he'd have them open.
Yeah, I was hoping so.
I knew a lot. I actually stayed. I wanted to tell Oprah about the riding the bull because
I was going to ask him about that.
I rode the bull, and I got to
Make
tell
a
him.
note of it for next time.
Is he riding the bull or is he roping?
No,
What is
he's roping. But my joke was when I went to Dallas
Oh,
a few
wow.
weeks ago to do the comedy, I rode the bull at the rodeo, and I had video to prove it.
Yeah.
And Richie didn't buy it.
Was it a bull or a cow?
It was a bull.
Bull. Right.
A real bull.
A real bull, not like a mechanical bull.
No,
a real
that was
one.
close.
You see the gate open.
You
and
see
he
the gate
comes out.
open. You see a guy fall off.
I don't know if you
possibly could
Was it
be
like a
me.
200-year-old bull?
No.
Not it wasn't 8 seconds exactly.
So maybe that's why his knees hurt so much.
So what else? What else?
Oh, lots of stuff. You know, the nursing stuff is great. I love doing it. I do joke a lot about the nursing
What do
stuff.
you tell us about?
So, well, you know, I mean, I think one of my favorites is, you know, I tell people how hard it is to be a nurse.
Yeah.
And, you know, one of the reasons why it's hard is because, you know, the things you're thinking and the things you're saying can be two very different things.
Right.
Like I'll have a 95-year-old family there and they'll be like, oh, tell my dad to eat better or lose weight, whatever it is. And meanwhile, I'm thinking this guy should just take their inheritance and spend it on cocaine, hookers, and Viagra. But, you know, but that I talk about that on stage, which is one of the reasons why I'm Brian Paul and I don't use my last name.
Oh, there you go.
And I had this like total moment today that I realized I can officially now say I have an AKA. Right? I have it also known as.
Yeah.
You know, you fill out applications and it says, are you known by any other name? I get to do that now. That's pretty
That
freaking
is
cool.
right?
What is your AKA?
Walker.
That's right. He's
Texas
an AKA.
Ranger.
He's
Yeah.
AKA.
Texas
Yeah.
Ranger.
My real last name, it's way too long.
My real last name is Horowitz.
Yes, he's Jewish.
Oh, he looks
Yeah.
Jewish.
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
My wife and kids are Jewish. I told you that, I think, right? See, I was raised Christian. My wife and kids are Jewish. We do all the holidays. And we were talking about my daughter before who goes to Hofstra. And she helps me a lot of times come up with like some of the jokes and stuff. And
You need that. You need that from the youth.
We're walking around campus during family weekend. And she's like, oh, Dad, I want to do gingerbread houses for Hanukkah this year. Gingerbread houses are a Christmas thing. She said, no, they make kits for Jews.
Right.
I said, really? Are they made of matzah and shaped like banks? My wife and her almost fell over. So it's a sensitive topic, the Jewish jokes right now, but it was great.
Funny.
That's funny. That's funny.
She's always got that little something going on, sense of humor wise.
She's funny.
Our
That's
kids are
great.
funnier than we are. You know, they're funnier than we are. They keep us in our place.
Since I've been on 50 times today, I have a question about Hofstra. I actually have a question about Hofstra. Do they have anything on campus that honors Wayne Corbett or anything like that? Like, did they do anything for him?
I don't know. That's a good question. I would ask her, but she'd have no clue who we're talking about.
Yeah,
neither do
well,
I.
neither do I. I don't even know who Wayne.
You don't know who Wayne Corbett is?
He's played for the Jets, right?
That's
Huge,
so good. How good your segment is.
huge Jets guy. Huge Jets
And
guy.
I don't even watch football.
I know Joe Namath. That's it.
The only Jet.
And the ones from West Side Story. I know all of them.
So many apologies. That will, listen,
You're apologizing for Bruce?
No, I'm
Butch, whatever the heck his
apologizing.
name is.
I called him
I'm
Bruce
apologizing
for
to
the
you
first year I'm on
because
the show.
when I see Oba, I light up.
No, it's
and
okay.
I'll never cut that man off.
I don't blame you.
He's one of my favorites. I just apologize for cutting your time short.
Don't worry about it.
You're coming back.
We'll have you back. Yeah.
I'm just upset that you guys were all talking about pools before. Nobody's invited me over yet.
Oh, you're invited.
88
Anytime.
degrees.
He's dying to have
88
anybody
degrees.
come over to go to that
Santo's
pool.
coming over.
And he's going to skinny dip.
Where are you going to be performing next, my friend? I see flyers.
Next Friday and Saturday, I have 2 bar shows. Red Zone in West Babylon on Friday. Farrell's Tavern in Ronkonkoma on Saturday. The week after that, not the week after that, July 10th is the first round of the Long Island Laugh-Off. I'm going to be in the first round. I'm going to do it again this year, give it a shot.
Good luck.
And then I'm actually doing a show with 2 city comics, Alec Preston and Mac O'Hara at Nostalgia out in Bethpage.
Very nice.
That's busy.
Thank you to Amy Morrow.
Go see the funny. See
Yes.
Brian,
Fire EMS Fire Foundation. Thank you to Brian Paul for
Thank
putting
you.
up with us. And thank you to our favorite Oba Baba Tunde. Great job, Butch. We're going to the diner. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night.